Hello and welcome back to the Minetrek.net game server. Today is March something or other. Really, I don't know, but been busy on the ship. Ran into a couple of issues and stuff, and we're going to talk about them. But anyways, here we are on the exterior of the ship. You can see there's the spine. We'll come swing around here. M wanted to do a change along here. Now these are the windows that are iconic windows that have to be in here. Now, the thing with this section of the ship is I designed it according to the deck plans, laid it out roughly according to the deck plans. Neither the Wi-Fi plans nor the Sternbach plans adequately address this area. In fact, if you look at both sides of the plans, you'll see that they're pretty close together in the fact that there's nothing really defined about where these windows go. They're like, servicing repair room and machinery room and so on and so forth. Well, she said, well, no, these should be just like it is along the rim of the saucer, given that it is very similar to what you see on the saucer. So, what we had to do is, and here's the big problem, the hull does not accommodate what she wanted to do. And that was to make this area very similar to what you see in the saucer. And again, neither the plans nor the hull will accommodate that, so we had to come up with a way to work around that. And I'll show you that real quick. And believe you me, 3 days. Worked on this for 3 days. And this is the best I can come up with. We had to drop the escape pods down as far down as I could get them onto this flat surface here. Remember, there will be windows down here as well. So, yeah. It's a really odd design. Again, it was all cosmetic. It was absolutely nothing practical. They never expected to ever have this thing built out in a 3D environment. Back then, I don't even think 3D was even a concept. So it was just like, yeah, this looks good, and it was just purely cosmetic. The windows, placements, everything was just cosmetic. Now, here we are in a 3D environment, trying to reconcile those cosmetic choices inside of an actual physical 3D hull. It's a pain in the ass, to say the least. But what I had to do is I had to set it up so that there are step downs. So in this case here, we are deck level, but we have to step up. Now we're on top of the escape pods, and that means we have to step down into these rooms. Now I could not make these rooms uniform, i.e. the same size per se. As you can see here, very similar to the way it's been done on the primary hull. So this was the only way to do it. Now this was something very similar to what they did on the original D, with the exception that the original D actually shared these rooms. So, well, I don't know if it shares the correct word, but they stepped down into them. So that was another issue, or that was very similar to the way I came up with here. And I didn't go over and look at the original D because I sort of did originally, and then I kind of went over there to say, okay, yeah, these windows have to be here. And after M mentioned that she wanted to have these things set up a specific way. Beforehand, there was very little room through here to do what we're doing, and it required a significant redesign of this entire area. And that's what took so long, 3 days worth. But as you can see, this is how you step down, and then the other one up here on this upper deck, it's just, so we can get up here real quick. It's just, same thing. You got to step down into it from up above it. So this is the best I could do, and 3 days worth of work. I feel pretty confident that I met the goal of trying to fulfill M's vision for this area. Granted, I'm not a fan of having to step down, but I got to admit, I played STO, so there are areas on ships where you actually step down into rooms and go up and down gangways and things like that, and this is the best fix. And it was, oddly enough, the same fix that they came up with for the original D. So, here we go. But most of the ship, I would say 96% of it is now mapped out. We're still in the process of making changes and tweaks and stuff like that, as you saw that posting from M there just a few moments ago. And that means a lot of stuff is still in flux. As I work my way down through, I make changes. And I've been working my way down from deck 30, 31, 32, and we've made quite a few changes. M's added some holodecks, as you can see here. I don't know if this is the bottom of the holodeck or the top of it. Let's see. Looks like it's the bottom of the holodeck. So this is going to be a very shallow holodeck. It's going to be something like this. Not a fan. Not a fan of it at all. And we're back. Anywho, spent a couple hours working with M. Hiller last night, working on coming up with a compromise for the area, and M actually had some really good ideas, and we went ahead and went with those. So let me go ahead and take you over here and show you what we're going to do. I gotta remember what deck it's on. I'm kind of been flying around doing other stuff and things. So here we go. Alright, so what's going to happen is we're going to, I'll start down here. These ones here are the smaller personal transporter suites. These here are the hollow suites. We're actually going to have the roof embedded in the floor, and then when I do the area above us, I'll hide these. All of these will be hidden, so you will not see these here. They'll be hidden in the roof. Now for these two other holodecks, what we did is we filled in this area here on both sections, filled them in, and then we got rid of the floor that was here. So these will be 2 stories tall. Now this area was broken into 2 areas. It was auxiliary life support and waste management, I believe. We're going to move auxiliary life support back to this area here. And it's going to work in tandem with the emergency life support right here. So these areas here all be emergency life support and stuff and things. And I think this here is also might be shield generators. We might actually make this auxiliary life support as well. I'm not sure yet. I'll wait for M to get back. She's out of town currently. Anyways, so a lot of rework for the area is going to be done, and M's looking forward to doing it. I hope it's it kind of gets a little old fast having to redo stuff over and over and over again. Sorry about that. Over and over and over again. My Corsair mouse is dying. Gonna have to break out the old wireless Logitech G06, I think it is, and start using it again. Anyways, so these areas become the transporter, become the I can remember words only when I think about it, holosuite machinery. Anyways, this area here used to be this big open spot right here. Well, we closed it off right here, and this here will be the organic, inorganic tanks. Now, because this is the star drive section, these have to be pretty substantial. At first I figured, well, you know, we could have inorganic stuff on this side, and then on the port side have something else. But M was like, no, actually, you want this stuff to be pretty big on the drive section because it is the main engineering and processing center for the entire ship. So, oh, okay, that works. Didn't even think about that. And what do we have here? Life support system, water processing systems above can also include small water processing. So this will be like environmental systems, mainly environmental systems. And what do we got up here? What's this room here? I think this is fire suppression. Yeah, fire suppression. This is basically fire suppression or life support, whatever we decide to use it for. So pretty cool ideas going through here. What do we have here? Large SIF. Cool, that works. And this is batteries, emergency batteries. Every deck has to have them. Cool. Anyways, that was pretty much it. That was the fix workaround. So yay! Hey, she's also been busy. I can tell you. See here, if we can find it real quick. Ah, there it is. Down here working on this area, which is the lower cargo bay. Been putting stuff and things in through here, and this is a cryo tank or something, or coolant tank, which is slightly larger than a cryo tank. But yeah, the neat thing about these is they fit in the parking spaces or the storage areas. That was the main thing for it, and I had to rework these corridors and stuff like that in order to make sure that they all worked again, because they got removed and now they're back. So that's a win-win. Here's the warp core, and below us is main engineering. Here is the deflector dish. Yeah, she's a big one. This is a pretty huge deflector. Took a little bit of effort, but we got her fitted in here. I initially mocked up the design based off of something Blue Phobes had built a while back, and M went through and she repositioned it so that it was correctly positioned. Then we pulled this part here that we created for the Voyager's slipstream drive, and then expertly included it into the reflector dish control systems, and then we have room for additional systems if we so choose. So yeah, she's all coming together pretty good here. Let's go ahead and fly around here and talk about the Cobra head. Now, as you're aware from previous videos from a year or so ago, well, maybe 6, 9, 10, 12 months ago, whatever it was, we're working on the Cobra head. We ran into some problems. Well, by we, I mean me. With this phaser strip design, there was absolutely no way that we could get it to curve around the angle that it needed to curve. I tried everything for the course of 3 days total, 8 hours per day, broken out over, I think it was 5 or 8 days, just whenever I had time, trying to work on this. And at the same time, we're also placing latches and all that other stuff. And there was just nothing to do. Out of frustration, I just said, okay, where does it have to go? And they said it has to start up here. That's where it starts at, and then it slopes down to here. What I did is I just wrapped it up to here, and I stopped it in the center, and called it good. So basically, this would be one phaser strip, and there was a nice big space here, and then another phaser strip. M says, well, you know, we actually need, why don't we go ahead and connect it as one big phaser strip? Because that seems like a more logical, practical design. This is by far more logical and practical design. It gives it a forward firing arc as well as, you know, whatever angles it needs and stuff. All we did is we lost an airlock right here. All we did is we moved it down here. But as you can see, this looks like something out of Futurama. When you look at it, the further back I get, the more you can see how it looks like something out of Futurama. Anyways, visor, nose, mouth, you figure it out. So, this whole angle here is off, and it has to be recontoured. And these areas over here, they just stick out a little bit too far, and they have to be sort of shaved off a little bit. So we did a little mock-up way back over there that includes some changes and stuff, and we're in the process of re-sculpting this area. And when we resculpt this area, we also have to adjust certain areas inside of the saucer. So I have a section of the saucer where I'm in the process of removing all of this stuff out of it, so you'll have a bare saucer, and then we can make the adapted changes and everything else. And what we will do, it's going to be a pain to integrate all that into everything, but it can get done. It's just going to be a pain to do, and I actually kind of scares the hell out of me to try and wrap my mind around how to do it. But I think I've got a way of doing it, and M's a big help. So together we will get it figured out. Pretty excited about that. So anyways, whoops, turned off my Gamma Bright again. See if I can turn that back on. There we go. For some reason, if I hold the shift key and do something, it adjusts my Gamma Bright adversely for me. But yeah, she's coming along pretty good. The entire drive section has come together, going in pretty quickly. Now it's the fit and finish and the fine-tuning, the allocation of space that is just buggering the heck out of us. It has taken forever to do all of this, but we're getting it done. I mean, the entire neck itself came together in literally 3 to 5 days, I think it was, maximum. I'm pretty sure it was less than 5 days, so we got the entire neck. So from where it stops on the saucer all the way down to this point right here took us about 5 days to do. So yeah, now all of this through here, the guts of the drive section is really taking some time, but we're getting it done. And with any luck, I'll have deck 30 and 31 ready to be mirrored here in a few days. Once M gets back, I'll have her double check the decks and see if there's any final changes that she wants to make. And then I'll stick some systems. I'll start sticking the systems into it probably tonight or tomorrow that go into this area. And then when she gets back, I'll have her do a final pass on it, and then we'll mirror them off. So we'll have 2 more decks done. And then from there, it should just, like a domino, it just should boom, 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 all the way down. But the whole process of getting all of these areas situated, figured out, space allotted, changes that need to be done, implementations of ideas and revisions, especially along the rim area, which really was one of those things that neither sets of plans made any mention of. And it was AM that discovered, hey, this here should be just like it is around the rim on the saucer, but the plans themselves didn't call for it, because if you look at the plans, it's very narrow rooms, and they're like ship systems and a couple of, you know, knick-knack rooms and stuff through deck 36 and 35 and 36 here. So Yeah, it serves as a 35, 36, and 37. So they don't make a lot of space. Now, by the way, we moved these here back. They were right here, so we moved them back into here, which actually more or less put them far more accurately placed on the hull, which also gave us the ability to give us more space through here because now the hatches sit directly on the hatch. Excuse me, the pods sit directly on their hatches. So that allows us to be able to have access to rooms through here, which facilitates being able to do what we did on the rim along the section here, albeit, you know, up, down, up, down. So, but yeah, it works, and I'm happy about it. So let's go ahead, and I think I showed this earlier in the video, but it's been a day or two, so yeah. Anyway, so the escape pods are down here, and these rooms here will be what do they work? They're marked labs, but they'll have windows. So, you know, joy for us. We come up here. I'm going to go ahead and slow this down here. I had to rework this area. This actual lounge was actually right here, but in order to get the spacing and stuff, because of this corridor right here, I couldn't reconcile unless I wanted to make this one big room here for emergency lockers. So what I did is I just moved this conference room over, and then I just turned these back into emergency lockers. And then I was going to run it by Em, see what she wanted to do. She says, yeah, go ahead and leave it like that. It works out really well. So that's why that's that way. But yeah, you come through here, and it's all, this corridor used to be over here, and we made it in a line with the deck above it so that we could adjust out here. Now you look at see if I can bring the map up without, there we go. Don't mind the stuff outside that's from the old design, but you can kind of see how it's been adjusted through here, and it works out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how it all came together. Granted, in this section we step up, and then you have to step down into the rooms, but this is the way they handled it on the old D, or the original D, so I figured, you know, hey, if the wheel's already been invented, just, you know, make a better wheel and give us more room, and that's what we did here. So hopefully this will work out. I've got my fingers crossed that it's going to work out, and, you know, it's pretty much all I can do. Just keep my fingers crossed and say, hey, I hope it works out, but you never know, you know, with Minecraft. It gets in the way of, you know, what we want to do sometimes, and that's pretty annoying, but it's Minecraft. Then up here, same thing. You step down into the rooms. And believe me, there's just no way to level this out. As much as I wanted to, you just can't do it, because if this is the whole deck level proper, and if we kept the deck level proper, you would see that, you know, it just wouldn't work. So, yeah. Anyways, I do appreciate you taking time to watch. Again, this is the Minetrek.net game server hosted by M. Heller. And if you'd like to donate to the cause, there'll be a link in the description below. If you hit the like button for me, greatly appreciated. Please visit us on Facebook and like us there as well. Not that anybody ever does any of that stuff, but hey, you know what? If you do, great. If you don't, shame on you. No, just kidding. Anyways, have a great day. Bye-bye.